Good. So, all right. So welcome, welcome.
Yes, Sagittarius time. So the season starts tomorrow, technically. So we're enjoying our last day of Scorpio, but we want to celebrate the Sagittarius season, kick it off right, and get an idea of the feel and the energy behind it and how it pertains to us and to our loved ones around us. So whether you're a Sagittarius or not, whether you have Sagittarius in your chart or not, this is all about the energy.
Love it. All right. So with any big celebration, we always start off with a candle so that we can light our fire and call in the collective. So we have a little ritual that we've adopted from the Wild Woman Project that we always like to shout out to. And it is for calling in the collective. So if you want to repeat after us, if you want to learn it and work with it, then we would be happy to share that with you as well. So, all right, let this flame represent.
Let this flame represent
the wild spirit that burns within each of us.
The wild spirit that burns within each of us.
As we awaken our own wild spirit.
As we awaken our own wild spirit.
May we awaken the collective.
May we awaken the collective.
All right. This is for you, Sagittarius.
Yes.
So for me, I know two people, my mother and my sister fall in that.
Okay.
That sign, which is kind of interesting. Well, actually, I take it back. My sister does not, I don't think. Do you know what the dates are? I know, right? Now that I'm thinking about this, what are the dates?
Yeah, so it starts tomorrow on the 20th, so November 23rd. And of course, this always varies by really from country to country, or more like what type of astrology that you follow. But so I'm just going to give you a generalized idea. It starts November 23rd through December 21st. All of them are very close, like within a few days.
Yes. Yeah, we discussed that last.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. So what my mom is the only one then. I was thinking my sister, but hers is the 2nd of January. And
oh no, we've got some time. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, we got some time there. So, yeah, I have very few. I've had friends, but like in the immediate circle, coworkers, of course, family, friends. There's really no one. But I do have to say, it is. I have a connection with that fire sign that always brings lots of respect for me personally. So
I love it. Yeah. So I'm the water sign, and you know, and it could be just the mother thing, but she's always that person I've always clashed with. So I don't know if it was like just once again going back and doing this work of like, you know, being more aware of the elements and how that interacts, because like what you just said about, you've got that respect because you're a fire sign and you can say, okay, I understand the elements of that fire sign. Whereas I'm like, especially growing up being this water sign, lots of emotion, lots of, you know, those qualities. And then she comes in and like, yeah, just dries me up or whatever. Like,
well, you know, something that's interesting about that and it's one reason that we do this, you know, why we like to honor the sign, the energy of the sign, is that every single element is connected to a zodiac sign, right? And so of course there's 12 zodiac signs, there's 4 elements. So they rotate, you know, through them. So there's 3 fire signs, there's 3 water signs, so to speak. And what they also rotate is what that means. They each have their own individual flair. So for example, the Sagittarius is a mutable sign. So so you could gather all the mutable signs together and really kind of see a thread. And maybe that's something that we'll play on a little bit next year. Or if you guys have any feedback of what that means, or you want to know more, yes, send us a comment or a direct message. But I wanted to talk about that for a second, because that reminded me of what you said. So the immutable sign is all about, change, right? So you've got cardinal, which just all the cardinal signs just head out and go, right? They are the leaders. They begin.
Yeah.
And really all it means is like, technically it's where they are in seasonal changes. And, we study, we love, we live in, the cycles of the moon. So this is kind of the same thing, the cycles of the sun. These are like seasonal changes that happen. So they lead that season, but they also represent that within ourselves. They lead certain areas of ourselves. And then you have the fixed signs that really are very stable, grounded. They pay attention to what's going on. There's not a lot of movement there. They're pretty stubborn. But then you have these mutable signs. And that's where I think true respect comes in for me as a fire sign, not a Sagittarius, as a cardinal sign. That I love that they have kind of this flow with them. There's this beautiful flow, but there's also this whole I see, I'm doing the quotes,
Right.
right? Like they see things differently and they can flow and they can take what's needed, what's not. They easily move things, leave things behind, and they see things almost from a higher perspective. And I respect that. I respect that. I see the fire signs, the cardinal sign, the cardinal fire of being like setting a house on fire, right? And then you've got the Leo or the fixed sign coming in and making sure that fucker burns down all the way. And then you've got that mutable, that Sagittarius is more of like, and this is why this burned. And this is how we keep the fire going, or we put it out, and the knowledge behind the whys of it. And yeah, that's why it's just mad respect for me and Sagittarius.
Love it. And that's such a great explanation of the elements of the signs, like what you're saying is that, because I think that was a big aha from me whenever working with all the tools and modalities and everything, is that energy behind the signs and how that we do cycle through that. It's every 24 hours, but it's also, we're looking at, every couple of days. And so that's why it's been really cool to do this whole program on the Zodiac celebration, because, getting to learn a little bit more. And, if our members, if they want to chime in, if they are that sign or they care about someone who is, that just to hear their perspective has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So and it's really interesting, with, like I said, you and I here, we can share about, the things that we've researched and understand, but it's such a different place when you're that one experiencing it and can come from that point of view. So as we do our little conversation here, chime in if you're out there and you are a Sagittarius, or you love someone who's a Sagittarius and you have an experience that you'd like to share. That's where we love that part of the conversation of, hey, tell us what your thoughts are. And so we can share, our research and that type of thing. But definitely we love that putting into play kind of the deal.
Yes, the action part of it.
Yes, the action. So tell us more, because I know you've done a lot of the research. You work with our SOCs, which is the system of correspondence inside of the Academy. And so I know that you also do that as a gift for any of the watchers that want to, or participants that want this basically blueprint for the Sagittarians.
Yes, it is. And here, I'll share my screen so you can see this. We put this inside the Luna's World Academy. It's always there, and it's free to join that. And you'll always have that information when you join, and you can download it. But this gives you the socks, the information on the socks. And then we also have, and we'll go through this briefly, just kind of an overview of, what that really means, more details, more of the juicy part of it. But Sagittarius is a fire sign. I love the mantra, which I think really describes their field. It is an I see, right? And I see all of the zodiac signs. We give them just kind of like a little short saying, so we can always remember. But I cannot be held back from what I truly want. I am committed and concentrated on my heart's desire. So they truly balance the fire. They're great at balancing the fire. And hey, Tracy's here. Hi.
Yeah.
Hey.
Good to see you.
Can y'all hear me?
you.
Sure.
I was on the Facebook a second ago, but I came over here. So
Awesome. Got on the panel. Yeah.
I was
like I said,
asking a question of you, Kathy, and that is, how do you interact with Sagittarius? And, like in general, I know there's no.
well, going back to it being my mother, I think that sometimes makes a little bit more of a difference, but space, lots of space helps. I think that's probably the best way to describe that.
Okay. I don't have that many Sagittarius in my life. Like it's just not a sign that I come, up with. I just don't ever meet them.
Yeah.
But I don't, so it's weird. It's so weird how some people, you just don't run into those, but anyway.
Yeah, it's like the little cadres, we have like certain energies that we connect with, or that we're here to learn lessons from, or vice versa, teach lessons too. But yeah, it is interesting how sometimes it's just the same few signs.
Okay, so I have a theory on this. I just want to share real quick because I know I want to get back to this, but I was thinking, so like, and I think that this will change over time, but looking back of like when you were conceived, like that's what we're really talking about, and being a Scorpio. So I was more than likely conceived around Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
So then you look at this next sign and like, what would be happening? People are out gardening. They're outside more, right? So it gets into that next level of when, so they were maybe a little busier on the outside instead of on the inside. And so you think about like with the signs like that of like, is there a correlation? I mean, come on, y'all, let's have conversations about this. If you're like, tell us when your birthday is so you can like, let's do a little study on if there is some correlation, because what you just said, I think that you see them in cycles, and it'll be interesting with the pandemic babies, all of those, all of those little guys, like if there's going to be a collective more of all the signs in that little bit.
Yeah.
Someone was saying that Valentine's Day is a conspiracy by Scorpios to create more Scorpios.
Let's hear the comments on that one. I think that. Sign me up for that one.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So back to our plan here. So yeah, tell us more, Ember.
Yes. Okay. So, of course, this is a generalization, but this is taking all of the system of correspondences and kind of grouping them together just to give you a Sagittarius feel. And so, yes, it's a fire sign. Purple is a beautiful color for that more crown chakra feel vibe. Amethyst, there's a lot of Sagittarius gemstones to choose from. So I know leaving one out would upset another Sagittarius. So I just went on and incorporated some of the top few, but they like a lot. There's quite a few gemstones out there that would work in their energy, but an amethyst and a turquoise and a topaz are pretty much the top three. But a peppermint, whether we're talking an herb or an essential oil, any sort of flavors, we could put that into food. Using peppermint as something is kind of a opening expansion of heart and throat. And also, since I'm talking about foods, we'll pop over to the other side there of grapes, plums, purple foods make a really good Sagittarius connection, and figs. But Jupiter is the planet. And I love Jupiter and studying Jupiter and the feelings behind it and the planet itself. If you're really into astronomy versus astrology, it's a beautiful planet, and it is all about expansion. And it's about like the knowing and teaching and learning and continuously expanding our minds. So the moon phase would be a waxing moon, right? Easy to release, right? Because it's a mutable sign, easy to release things and let them go, and to move on to more of a meditated state. And Thursday is the day that is Thor's day. So the god Thor, but that is about wisdom and knowledge, and yeah. And the number. Well, the reason for the number, I always put on here, the reason for the number is the number of the house. So this is the 9th house. This is a meditative room, so to speak. So this is about higher purpose and philosophy. And that's really something the Sagittarius can get into. And then for the animal, we have a kingfisher, which is part of the artwork there. Gorgeous kingfishers, a horse, but really the reason for the horse is about the centaur, right? Being able to half horse, half man, woman.
I like it.
Whichever. So yes, this is about journeys. This is about philosophy. And that's something to kind of hit home about the travel aspect. It's more than just literally, I'm going to another city, town, country. It is about the journey, and it can be whether it's a physical movement or whether it is a philosophical journey, learning anything new. So they always need to find a path, and they always need to find a purpose, and very identity oriented, but yet in not in a selfish sort of way where, or more ego driven way where maybe an Aries would be. It is about who their higher self is.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. So idealistic, enthusiastic, honest, very playful. I think that's important to kind of hit home too, knowing how they can be, they can find joy. They can always find some joy, even though they can contemplate on some serious things, and they prefer to hang around those that can take things seriously, but they'll be the ones to have fun. Yeah, so knowledge is kind of their life stage, always learning. But I love to throw the body parts in there, hips and thighs, right? So it's more than just the stability of feet on the ground. It's how you start moving this information, how you start moving the bigger aspects of your life. So yeah, they can be extremely inspirational, super dynamic. They're excellent communicators. And there's one other thing I really wanted to say. What was it? Oh, the house of purpose. Yes, we were talking about the houses a minute ago, and I glossed right over that. So the house of it being a meditative room, this also means it's about having a purpose.
So it's interesting, going back to the aspects, the aggressive. Let's talk about that for a second, because I love all of these. Yeah, I do love all of these. Really, the joy and all of this, and so going back to like the aggressive part of it. So what would you think that would relate to?
So
Any ideas?
that moves around too, and this is something we haven't really gotten into a lot, but when we do have all of these aspects that I have over here underneath the photo, these aspects rotate through all the zodiac signs. So there are other signs that are not aggressive. They tend to be a little more outspoken,
Right.
a little more yes, they see, and they don't mind you seeing it too.
Right.
They want you to see it too. They want to share this. And in that way, it can come off as being a little aggressive because they're not necessarily shy people.
Right. And yeah, anytime, yes, that people present information or ideas can feel aggressive for someone if they don't do it in a way that's receptive.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So good stuff. I like the house of purpose. I thought that's a really important part of this, of recognizing that, because, once again, we all have aspects of this comes through our life if you're living and because we are ruled by the cosmos. So whether you understand that you have this energy around you, it's always there. And so just seeing, I like to look up, I like to know what energy we are in for the day. And so that kind of guides me on maybe discussions I have or don't have, or, looking at how I plan my life. I think that's a really good way to look at it, is to see, maybe this isn't the time, or maybe it's a great time to introduce something. But go ahead.
Something that I've put on these is the Latin motto. So like this goes back, the people have studied the stars for several millennia, and each of these signs have been given just like we say I see, and I don't know why I have to do the air quotes when I do that, but I do. I see that there were other mottos thousands of years ago. One of them being iter, iter. I don't know Latin very well, even though it's part of my religious culture growing up, but I still don't know it. But what that means is passage. And the Sagittarius, the actual Sagittarius time, the zodiac, the stars, that was what it was called, the passage.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, back to travel. That's why it's connected with travel. But when you say the word travel, sometimes you literally think you're going on some sort of journey, but that can mean many things too.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is a really good time, this coming into this next month, to be adventurous, to play with being, kind of outgoing and sharing your passions with people, and of course going into the holiday season, the preparation for, and as we are hitting some holidays during this time, some Thanksgiving time if you're in the US, but in the preparation for some of the other upcoming holidays, this is the perfect time to really feel this type of energy and have fun with it. See if you can channel. If you're not a Sagittarius, channel this energy.
And report back to us. Comment on the video. I love to hear the rest of the story. So I think that's a great prompt, is to channel this energy and potentially try new foods. I think that's always a really easy way to incorporate this energy into your daily life, is to really nature and food, which of course is much the same.
All of you Sagittarius people out there, or who have one in their immediate family or in their household, what do you like best about being a Sagittarius? What are you the most proud of? What quality makes you happy that you wouldn't change for $1 million?
Good question. All right. Tracy, do you have anything you want to add before we this feels complete? How about you, Amber? Do you feel good on what we've shared so far? So Tracy, if you have anything you want to add?
No, I love you guys. That's what I'm going to add.
Aw,
We love you.
Yeah.
Here we go, our little heart there.
I'm doing anything I can this month to just get my new, Kimberly, new,
New.
anything
New.
new, right?
Here we go. So yeah, mutable sign. This is the time, right? So yeah, tonight we do the Divine Art Alchemy, or in a few hours,
Is it-
actually.
It's tonight?
It's tonight. Yeah.
Heck, y'all, what time?
7 p.m. Eastern time.
So 5. I may not
Mountain
be there, you
time, so it's
guys.
5 mountain.
I may not be there. I'm really sorry.
I'm sorry too. Well, if you have a chance to come in later, of course, do. You could pop in at any time.
Mhm.
But
And watch
yes,
the recording if you don't get a chance to watch it live or to join us live, but you can always watch.
I
the
haven't done
recording.
my November yet because I just got sidetracked.
well,
You were saying how you were going to make the bigger one, so you
I know.
put that into motion, and it's like, oh, gosh,
Yeah, and then move on.
Make that a year-long
yeah. There you go.
intention, and then
Thank you, guys.
yeah, and then just jump into this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one will be fun. Yeah, so we're gonna anchor the journey tonight for those that are interested. But as for Sagittarius, though, yes, we want to wish them a happy birthday upcoming for this entire month. What I say, November 23rd through December 21st.
Love
So wishing you the
Happy-
best.
Happy birthday.
All right. Love
All
and
right, till
moons,
next time.
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.